Hey Motorheads, it's your boy MP coming at you live and direct out here from the Hella Mega headquarters in beautiful San Francisco, California. The car on today's menu is the 2010 Audi Q5, and I emphasize 2010 because there were some slight changes between 2009. Nothing that was too major, but definitely some things that should be noted. Obviously, the Q5 was hot. It came out in March. It's this crossover SUV class that was really founded by Lexus with the RX. Has absolutely erupted. Everyone's jumping in on it, and especially living in a city and you want an SUV, it's definitely a perfect fit. There's some things about the Q5 that absolutely stand out. Absolutely are reasons that you have to consider this car if you're looking at a crossover SUV. Audi for sure is doing something right here. MotorTrend magazine, first place comparison test drive. Automobile magazine, first place in comparison test drive. Every single car manufacturer is scared of the Q5 right now. Every single car magazine is giving the Q5 first place right now. So obviously, they're doing the right things, and I'm going to go over all the reasons why. And the first thing we have to start with, obviously, let's just get it out of the way, is that peppy little motor that's in that bad boy. V6, 270 horsepower, 243 foot-pounds of torque, 0 to 60 in 6.7 seconds, according to Audi. Now, when I drive the car, the first thing that really stands out with me with the car is the incredible athleticism behind this car. Now, a lot of times when you get into these little crossover SUV class cars, they have a very wimpy stance to it. Like the X3 for me is disgusting. It's basically like a baby soft version of the X5, which doesn't really do any justice to the car. The Mercedes-Benz kind of looks like a glorified Jeep right now. The Volvo XC-60 is a pretty nice car, but for some reason this Q5, they did it absolutely right. They didn't try to make a baby Q7. What they did was build its own complete car. So the Q5 is short and wide. It's wide, yeah, and short to the ground. It has like a very bulldog-like stance to the car. So this lets the car handle more like a car than this top-heavy little SUV that they keep trying to. Like, think about this. The Q5 is like this and like this versus like this and like this. So it gives you a much better driving performance. The responsiveness is incredible. The shift pattern is incredible. A little clunky in the first to second gear ratio, but once you get outside of that, it's amazing. Drive mode, sport mode, Tiptronic. There's all these really great dynamic driving opportunities with the car that really can really change the way the car can perform in the way you'd like the car to basically maneuver around the city, through the hills, through the mountains, on the racetrack. They did a fantastic job with the driving behind the car. And obviously, the styling has been exceptional. You have this beautiful, actually, if you notice, the hood on the Q5 looks very similar to the hood lines of the S5. So now you have an SUV that has a very sporty, heritage-like sports coupe feel to it. You have those beautiful LED daytime running lights in the front. So in terms of a design from the front, imagine seeing these beautiful, crisp, bright white lights, short, wide stance car, fantastic sport lines. So from the front of the car, there's a very rich, pure, thick feel to it. And then as you trail along, the car tapers around, gets a little thinner, and then in the back you have these beautiful LED trunk lights, stand out, make yourself very visible on the road. Your presence is felt. Obviously, you can tell I'm super hot in the car. There's not enough I could say about the car. I can actually talk about this car probably for like 3 or 4 hours, but I'm going to try to keep it short here. Some really great features behind the car where Audi, I think, just hit a home run. Obviously, seamless Bluetooth integration, which, believe me, the 3rd generation multimedia interface that they integrated in this car is so much superior than any other Audi that's ever been put on the planet. So all you Audi owners out there who are currently running on the 2nd generation MMI, who say your Bluetooth is a little bit iffy, the navigation isn't as, intuitive as it should be, please just stop by a dealership, check out the 3rd generation MMI. You're going to be blown away. It's 3D maps. It's absolutely fantastic. It's glorious. Actually, the navigation almost works kind of similar, if you had to just kind of get it in your head, almost kind of similar to the way the iPhone Maps works. So if you have an iPhone, you know how the functionality of the Maps works. Think about that in terms of being able to place things, pull things in terms of information, phone number, stuff like that. It's really incredible. The car has a full glass roof, like a lot of the competition, like the X3 and things like that. But I think overall where this car really just wins, where it hits the home run, right, is that there isn't really any flaws with the car. Now in 2009, there was kind of like this weird kind of funky steering issue, you know, where it was really kind of like your forearms were getting a workout driving around the city at low speeds. And I think they did that to try to tighten the steering to kind of compete more with the BMW. And I think they messed up. And so that's why in 2010 they kind of went back to the pure Audi steering, where it's really soft around town, tightens up on the on the freeway as you go faster, and it just makes for an overall better driving experience. The one thing that I do want to note, there's a badass package on this car. The S-Line package would be one of my favorites. You get these beautiful 20-inch wheels, you get the aluminum brush finish, you get the way that it changes the front grille of the car, and the way it embodies like it cases in the exhaust pipes in the back. Definitely awesome. And here's a cool little tidbit on the car that a lot of people won't recognize, and it's one of the only cars in its class that can do this. The tailgate is power. But not only is it power, it's completely adjustable. So you can set the tailgate at any height that you would like for it to open at. So if you have garage clearance issues or you're kind of short, you don't have to be jumping up to touch it every single time. So a lot of great little features behind the car. Hot selling points for me. I'm gonna lace them out right now. Safety, stellar. Performance, stellar. Design, stellar. And of course, the all-wheel drive system. Not stellar, just the absolute best. So if you're considering something in this crossover SUV market, I know a lot of people out there are really hot on the RX-400h right now. It's a hybrid. I could say a lot of things right now on the 400h that would leave a lot of sour taste in your mouth. I'm going to do an episode on the 400h. That car needs to go down. I have no respect right now for that car. The Audi Q5, if you want to be in a crossover SUV market, if you can afford that car and you're not looking at that car, you are not doing yourself justice. That car is absolutely the one to have. And in the meantime, if you have any other questions, email me. But I want you all to please keep on motoring.